So let's talk about a few issues with 3D printers, and more specifically, let's talk about wires breaking. So there's two main components on 3D printer that move. There's the extruder and the print bed. Now, the issue that I've encountered in the past is mostly with the wires connected to the print bed breaking. And that's because as the bed moves, the wires are constantly flexing, and after a while, they just break. And the print bed wires on this Mini V2, for example, they broke so many times that eventually I just got tired of it, and I actually ended up building a brushed connection between the bed and the body of the 3D printer to prevent this issue from happening again. So to do this project, to make your Mini V2 brushed like mine is, you're going to need a radiator fan motor, and you're going to need to download the 3D file and put it in the description for free and print off those pieces. And I'll show you how it goes together here. So to start off, we're going to grab the radiator motor, and we're going to pull these tabs back, and that'll allow us to separate the back half of the motor from the front half. So once you get the back half off, you'll see there's the plate that has the brushes on it. And you cut the wire attached to the brush as low down to the plate as possible so that the wire still attached to the brush is as long as possible. If you guys can't get a radiator fan off the 2016 Pathfinder, just make sure that you measure the dimensions of your brushes and make the adjustments you need to the 3D files just to make sure everything fits right. There's two holes in the back of the brackets that are made for M6 screws. Just make sure that the ones you use for the back of the bed are a little bit shorter than the ones at the front. Probably about a centimeter, not much longer, or else you're going to end up contacting the bushings for the bed. For the springs, you can steal them from two mechanical ballpoint pens. Pretty much you just pull them out and cut them in half, and that's the perfect length. A good trick that I found for pulling the wires on the brushes through the little housing was to push a piece of copper wire through and solder them to the piece of copper wire and then just pull it through. I would actually just leave this piece of wire attached to the brush wire, and I would just trim it and use that as my main connection to the wire that goes to the 3D printer. So another trick you're going to want to do with a drill and a drill bit is run it lengthwise across the top of the brush, and this makes a little groove in the top for the wire to rest in, and this groove also prevents the wire from falling off to the side as the 3D printer is running. Next, you're going to want to grab the internals of the motor that we use for the brushes, and you're going to want to take some of that copper wire and unwind it a little bit. One of the reasons you want to use a motor that's rated for automotive use or something similar is because it's going to come with fairly decent sized copper wire inside of it, and this is because these motors have a fair bit of current that travels through them, so they can handle a decent amount. Same with those brushes, they're pretty decent components inside of here. And don't forget to sand off the enamel on the copper wires. If you don't do this, you're not going to get a good connection and you're going to have more 3D printer issues, which is what we're trying to resolve. So the last two steps that we got left is just to pull those copper wires through the brackets for the heater bed, and then make sure that you solder your connections together in the right order. So the ones for the bed heater, you're gonna have a positive and negative, make sure they go to the brushes. Same with the printer sensor, make sure they're connected to the right spots. If you find you need more tension on the wires, then feel free to use some double-sided foamy tape underneath the brush housing to raise it up a little bit. This will exert a bit more force against the wires, which is totally fine because you have the springs inside there that will maintain the tension as it travels back and forth. For those of you doing this project, good luck, and feel free to throw a comment in the comment section if you have any questions. And if you were just here to watch to see how I made a brush 3D printer, I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Cheers, guys.